What up, guys? Welcome to the Overkill Underground. This is episode 8, Survivor.
Fantastic episode.
It's a good episode. What's going on, Lance?
Very good.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Robert?
Doing good. Great to be back.
Definitely.
Great to be back. Last week I was, at the Elton John concert.
Oh, yeah. You went to the Elton John
concert.
Beautiful, yeah.
Didn't feel like doing it the next night.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you here on the episode 8 Survivor review.
Great to be here.
We went back. Let's just go back to where we actually entered into the merge, because we had a couple, the things that happened during the merge I think are important to mention. One of those things being Neil.
Yeah.
Where he is the first juror and also, suffered through going medical evacuation to a sore on his knee, I guess, was the one that
was the
sealed
one.
the deal. Yeah.
The one in the back looked a lot worse.
The one in the back was bad, but it wasn't by a joint. The one by the joint, if it gets into the joint, he possibly could have lost a leg.
Right, and that's kind of what they stressed on that.
Very bad infection in that area. The back was kind of
it's
kind of more in a meatier
right.
area. Right. Anyway, yeah, he's lucky he's in the jury.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
exactly.
I think you do get a couple.
That's the only thing you can do.
I think you get a couple bucks for being in the jury. So there you go.
For sure, right? Yeah. But we got 10 people left now.
Yeah.
We're entering into day 19. We start out with a reward challenge.
Did it start with day 19?
It did.
Okay.
It did.
Which is we're right there. We're at the halfway
it's getting
point.
There.
We're
it's
at the halfway.
1920
is the halfway point.
We got 20 days left, right?
Yeah.
And so by the end of this, we're past the halfway point.
Right. So this is halfway point right now.
And we got the ice cream reward challenge, which to me, and I'm thinking about this the whole time, and it must not matter when you're there, but I'm thinking, man, ice cream. I don't know if I could be eating a bunch of ice cream.
That's what I said.
When
I said
it's hot out.
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'm like, dang, man.
But
you're looking for substance out there, but I mean, I guess the energy you get.
I could have drank about 30 root beer floats, though.
Right.
I think.
I guess as far as the energy,
sugar and
it will right.
I think it was a neat challenge.
But the actual challenge was pretty cool for that. Yeah.
I would have ate that whole jar of cherries. I would have just dumped them right down my.
Yeah, no kidding. Right, for sure.
Anybody watch Harry's? No. I mean,
yeah, later. Yep. Yeah, the reward challenge with taking the posts and
the whipped cream. You could have did a couple of whippets.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, get done with the whippets and start down. And they had peanuts laying around. I would have been digging through that.
I would have ate all them.
Right.
And then just
get
eat
through
the ice cream.
Devour them.
I'm not wasting my time eating ice cream.
Yeah,
I'm eating all the nuts.
For sure. We know you would.
You know how I am with nuts.
Tell us, Robert. How was Lance with the? How'd you like the reward challenge?
It was pretty good. It was a tough challenge.
It was a tough challenge, and it was funny with we had the two teams. And Julia was the leader of the one team,
and Aubrey was the
leader of the second team, and
they get the
she had a meltdown over that too. About losing that challenge.
Well, she picked a terrible team. The other girls' team was an all-star team. You got the two skinniest, smallest people,
and the two
biggest,
tallest, strongest guys.
Yeah,
I think they had a bigger base, a stronger base to work from with those guys holding. Holding the things.
I thought so too.
And they started it correctly by her taking one step at a time instead of putting two. And then trying to move out that.
Yeah.
You go one step, two step, one step. And then they got the rhythm of it there for a little while.
I didn't like the when they tried to crawl. They first started out trying to crawl.
No.
I knew that was like, I'm not sure that you can get.
Why wouldn't you have both people on the sides? Like, stand here and just move it up a little bit.
That's what I thought
just
they
move
would
it
do.
like this way.
I think I've seen
side
them
to side, opposed to like balance on one, and then we'll move it all the way around in front of you, and then step to that one and balance. I mean, you fall out. If you go side to side, you might be able to just like, hey, you two hold it there, and just move it like a foot, and I'll just step.
Yeah, I think
step.
I think
step,
I think they had to. You would have had to have keep it probably in a pretty quick motion. I think because they had to balance.
I don't think so.
I think because they had to balance on one, you had to get your balance on one of those posts. And then I was still, even by the end with Julia's team, surprised that with Scott's feet taking up the entire platform, where they had to stand, and they had 5 people standing on a 12, or had to have been a little bit bigger than 12 inches, maybe a 15 by 15 inch square.
Maybe. So, I don't even think it was 15. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Scott's feet took up the entire thing. So
but still, all you have to do is get him up and Nick, squeeze that little Julia in there, which that was no problem.
Right,
and then let the 2 bean poles
hang off the edges. They used him as the balancing beam, and they all kind of meshed.
Yep.
And they got their feet up there long enough to win.
Yeah, because
like I said, that was an all-star. That was an all-star team she picked. I can't believe Aubrey let.
Yeah, and with Ty able to, he squeezed his way up there, no problem whatsoever. So it was a pretty good, impressive how they were able to work together and just pretty much shoot Aubrey's team straight down. I mean that they just didn't even have a chance. I think they made it three poles where they were able to step three steps in through the water, and then just constantly falling down. Just did not work out to their advantage.
I thought maybe if you did go in a balance where you just like, let's just move the pole a foot, and you just keep stepping.
Yeah,
just keep stepping.
There's got to be some kind of strategy to it all, but
I think so. I think if you get that kind of rhythm, you might be able to.
Right. I also thought I think this happened before the reward challenge, but Jason told his story about his kids.
Yes.
And that
somebody asked him about his kids, his family, which is nice.
Right. I mean, it's awkward to bring up something like 19 that days. During the challenge, but if somebody does, during the whole game, you don't want to mention these things just straight off and try to gain sympathy, because somehow that's going to mark a negative against you. But when you can bring it up at the right time, the right moment, especially if somebody asked you, so,
he had a big audience.
Yeah. Everybody was listening in.
I still don't really think everybody buys his bullshit, because he's still a bully. I mean, he's just...
Right.
It humanized him for a little while anyway. I think that's what it did to him, and whether that lasts any more than one show, we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't think it will, but we'll see.
Yeah,
he's not all that likable as a character.
Everybody was able to gain a little bit of softness for him.
A little bit, but I'm
grew him a little closer to the entire tribe. But the funny thing is, with the way things kind of ended up working out once we got to the immunity challenge, is the fact that the beauties as a whole, they really are the ones that had the control as to which side would be kind of advancing.
Absolutely. The beauties have the complete control, because
Brawn they could have went with Brawn.
Brawn was
they could have went with Brawn, right?
And Nick made the decision,
and it really was right. He
made the decision when Neil got hurt. I mean, which way they were going to go, and if you remembered, Scott made the comment in Tribal. It's been 6 days since we've been at Tribal. A lot of time to think about it, and we had a strong 7 6 days ago, and maybe 5 days ago, and 4 and 3, but maybe not 2 days ago or yesterday. I mean, we're just.
It's funny to think
you're wearing on your.
It's funny to think too.
Well, people are being eliminated, and the closer you get to the end, it's everybody for themselves.
Absolutely.
Everybody's looking out for their own good.
It's just funny how it would have worked out, though.
Nothing really changed 6 days ago with when these 7 people said, "Hey, we're gonna get rid of all these people."
Yeah.
But just 6 days of being with the same people and looking at these people going, I'm aligned with this person. And you know what? I don't know. you start getting second thoughts and
And
you
plus-
see what happened.
Plus, the whole thing
Blindside
is
City.
The whole thing is too. It was really centered.
Suplex City and
Obviously,
Blindside City.
it was centered around Nick.
Yeah.
But the whole fact that had they went with brains, this would have turned out a lot different.
Yeah.
You know, Nick would be there still. I would imagine
If he would have went with brains.
Yep.
Oh,
If he-
absolutely.
if he would've
Debbie even made that
if he
comment
would have
too.
chose, because he would have been.
She
right.
made that comment during the
Right.
episode that I really wanted to work with Nick, but hey,
Yeah.
this is my opportunity
This
and
is
I'm
what
taking
is.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, it's surprising how that worked out.
It
And,
is. It
Uh,
is.
he's a loudmouth, arrogant guy. Kind of says what he, and he might have not meant to come off in that way, but that's just, that's what he said. This is my true self. Like, I just kind of walk around and kind of
That's
act
true.
like this. So
He made his big
you know.
mistake. He made his big mistake when he was talking to Aubrey and told her
Yeah.
to vote for Debbie. That
Yep.
It's
Oh,
either
yeah.
gonna. It's. And he
Yeah.
even made the big mistake when during the immunity
Yep.
challenge
That was
when they
his
were
big
all
mistake.
when they were standing there holding.
Totally.
I'm just waiting out until all the brains are gone.
yeah,
And why is that, Nick?
yeah, and it was obvious, right?
Because one of the girls are going home.
And it didn't need mention
And
even
you know
at
what?
the time.
They knew that because, like
Right.
I said, they've been there for 6 days and they've already decided, and the brains already knew, and even to the
Right.
point where Joe knew that it was
Yeah.
going to be one of the girls because he stepped off that podium, and Bob made the comment that, when Jeff comes out with that smorgasbord of food.
Yeah.
You eat.
An older
You're not
guy.
you're not gonna make it. You're not
Right.
gonna hang in
No,
there.
no.
These young people they're gonna hang in your. So
And plus, you're an older guy. You need to get up and get something to eat. Just like Scott, he's thinking to himself, "Dude, I am huge. I need to
I
get
need
food,
food." Right.
like lots of it." Right.
but still,
So,
he's on the
he
good
was-
side of it. Everybody that
Scott's sitting
stepped
pretty.
off. Everybody that stepped off knew they weren't going home.
right.
And Nick didn't step off to eat. He stepped off waiting until all the waited
was
until
waiting.
Debbie fell off.
Waiting for all the brains. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And that's
he still-
pretty much exactly. That's pretty much how it ended up with.
But he made his crucial mistake when he made that comment to Aubrey.
Aubrey, that was a big mistake.
That was
They
a huge-
showed
and
that
he even said
as
that
soon
when
as
he was in
said
front of the
that, I
camera.
thought to
Right.
myself, that's an interesting comment to make. And I think Ty is playing a very smart game.
Oh, he's a
He's
smart
playing
guy.
all sides, and he's a sympathetic figure, the waif-like figure, but he's also the strong figure. He just won a challenge.
And he was
Yeah.
there until the end in the last immunity challenge against Nick. And speaking of immunity challenges, and I want your opinion on this, Rob, but since nobody got voted out last week and Nick had immunity, he kind of gets screwed, don't you think? I mean,
Yeah, right.
I agree with that.
especially
He had-
since he goes home this week.
He sure had the
'Cause-
immunity at the wrong time, huh?
Because he won immunity
Yeah.
the week before.
Well,
and didn't.
It's an immunity by immunity basis,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
won immunity, and they
once you
didn't go
lose
to
it,
jury.
Once you lose it, it's gone. That's it.
It's hard to.
Didn't
it's
have-
hard to say. I
Didn't
mean,
didn't have
he
to go to
didn't-
tribal to use
He
it.
didn't get a chance to
But if he-
enjoy that advantage
But if he had,
and make
if they
a
had
vote.
to, if he
Yeah,
had
he-
to go to tribal, he would have been
Mhm.
safe. It was all good.
He could have stayed in longer in that challenge, if
He could have.
I mean, and he
Probably.
probably would have won. I
Maybe.
mean,
It's possible. Yeah.
young, strong man. I mean, he could
Although-
he could have stuck it out as long as two of the others.
Ty had that thing on lockdown, though, for sure. I mean, he really did.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is he's a warrior. That
He
guy
is
is
a
a
warrior.
That guy is a real fighter. And as you watched him squirm around on that thing the entire time, from within 5 minutes, I mean, Jeff was just probing at him,
Yeah.
like, hey,
He
Ty,
was writhing
how
in
you
pain.
feeling?
He was
Like,
writhing in pain.
just right, and and I think Jeff, he really just tore up everybody mentally as they were standing there, just saying all kinds of stuff about how the pain's setting in, and I'm gonna tempt you with
Yeah.
food and blah, just going on and on. And even afterwards,
And
when it was just Sydney and Ty, he's still digging. Oh, there
he
goes
can
Sydney.
use
She's
that in
starting
his favor if he makes the final three.
yeah. Well,
Oh, Ty's. If Ty makes
I
the final
wouldn't.
three,
I wouldn't
he's
be
in trouble.
surprised if he makes the final four for sure.
Well,
I
it's
mean-
gonna, we got a long game to go before we can get there, fellas. Don't you think?
Not too. We're not too far off though. Now we have nine players left. We got 9 people left, and 5 more gone, and that'll be that. That'll be your final
tie
4.
is good as long as there's one group against another group, which is going to happen for the next couple of times because you have the men and the women look like they're.
Well, he definitely proved this time that he was very very efficient at the single immunity challenge, without a doubt. I mean,
Ty is
he's a warrior for sure.
Absolutely.
And just his, I think he played a good mental game against Sydney while they were standing there. They were perched on a 2-inch ledge that they were resting their heel on, and they're holding their hands up behind their head.
Right.
And Ty is
Sydney
telling her,
"You're a redwood. You're a redwood. You're gonna crack."
Yeah, and he's completely building himself up. Talking
I'm
about
like the bamboo.
Yeah.
I flow in the wind.
Yeah, the wind blows and blows and blows,
and I don't break.
Yeah.
I don't break.
Yeah,
and he didn't.
And he was.
Now let's not forget. He's in his early 50s, I think, isn't he?
Yeah,
is he really?
I believe
he's in his
so.
early
I believe
50s.
so. Yeah. So he's definitely an older guy.
Yeah.
So and
Sydney's
he was complaining about his back for sure.
She's in her prime. That girl
Sydney
is in her prime.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah,
what
her
a body
stamina,
on her. Yeah.
Oh, just completely defined.
I think she
like a
was,
black Wonder Woman. Look at her. She looks
I
fantastic.
think she was okay
Lincoln.
until they started talking to her, and it got her out of her train of thought. Because before that, she was just kind of just standing there, like just kind of locked into where she was at.
Yeah.
But once they started talking to her, and especially when it came down to those two, and he was yapping, that took her out of her zone with regards to being able to put up with the pain and the tiredness, and I think that got her.
Yeah, and that was completely it too.
If they wouldn't have talked to her, I think she would have won. Yeah, she was locked in.
She was pretty locked in. Yeah,
she was locked in. But then Ty comes out with that and starts, saying yapping. Stuff. Yeah. Jeff starts saying stuff.
I think he saw what was happening. He said, "I think he's smart enough." He looked and he says, "Man, I got to get her off that game because she's just too strong." So he starts
talking to her, and when she starts talking, she loses a little focus.
Yeah,
that's the crack that he was looking for.
That was
lost the focus, and then
completely.
Then now I feel that pain in my foot, and
now
and something like that on somebody like her.
And Ty's a smart guy where he's able to do that and then focus his energy on not himself, but he's focusing his energy on Sydney.
Yeah.
And what he's, trying to mentally tear her down.
Did you see his doing his hands? He's like,
he had an advantage for being a smaller guy, I think, able to wiggle around so much. He was able to wiggle around so much. He's a littler guy.
I wasn't expecting him to wiggle as much as he did, but he was wiggling in the first 5 minutes. And I said, "Oh my gosh, this guy's going to fall now."
You thought, you thought he was going to be over before it started.
Smarter than me, obviously. I mean, because I would have probably stood there just as stoic as the others, and one little crack, it's like, ow, there's a cramp in my shoulder. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I'd have seen the food.
You know what I mean?
The food would have been enough for me. I'm like, chicken, I'm out.
Yeah, I think
later.
So. I'd be on the right side.
They had some good looking stuff,
I would have been on the right side of the alliance at that point. I'd tell you that right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll tell you what I would have been doing. When I would have been watching them people eat ice cream, I would have been looking at everybody else instead of like Jason yelling, "You guys are allowed to have more fun. You don't have to be so." Hey, leave me alone, bitch. Yeah. I'm eating ice cream.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I would have been sitting over there going, I don't know about you guys, but whoever's going home is somebody eating fucking ice cream right now.
No, hell no.
That's who's going home. One of them motherfuckers over there eating ice cream. That's who's going home.
Yep.
I would have made an alliance with the non-ice cream eating motherfuckers right then and there.
And who was that? That would have been Aubrey's team. Who was that altogether? I had it written down. Aubrey's team was...
it would have been Joe...
Sydney, Michelle, Joe, and Jason.
Yeah.
And Aubrey.
At least find a crack somewhere.
Yeah, and it would have...
something.
Right, it would have never worked out with Jason, for sure, in that collection of people.
Jason's locked in with who he's with, but now, now he's scattering a little bit.
Well, he's locked in with Scott.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without a doubt. I mean, we go through this, and obviously we make it to Tribal, and Tribal
great.
was good because it the way it laid out. Jeff asked his questions. He goes on saying what he needs to say, and kind of digging at people, and everybody's responses really went with the flow of the fact that Brains is sitting on the side.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
There's nothing going on. That's what we see. That's what everybody sees.
I'll tell you
It's
what,
obvious.
the girls planned that female alliance perfectly. And you knew Joe was just along for the ride because he was a brain.
Yep.
So he wasn't going to vote with the Brawns and
No way.
the Beauty.
Yep.
So that whole girls alliance and how they kept it quiet was
Exactly.
fantastic.
Exactly.
You know what
they
amazed
snookered
me?
them on that, they did.
Yeah, you know what amazed me? The fact, first of all, that you said Ty's played such a great game. Talk about an idiot move when he's like, "So Ty, do you what's going on about any immunity idols?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know nothing, but something about super idol." And everybody
You know
looks
what?
at him like,
what? Super Idol?
"Yeah."
How do you know?
I thought everybody knew. Only you know.
Only you know, Ty. Yep.
Oh.
I think Ty can use that
Let me
to
stick
his
my foot in my
advantage,
mouth.
He could. He might be able
because
to.
he keeps playing the game, goes with the flow of who's voting for who.
He's got scapegoats that he can push that onto too. He can
He's
be like,
not
I
going
heard
to be-
something from this guy. I heard something from that guy. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And then,
things true, right?
if he gets through the next, let's say, 3 episodes, then he becomes really
He's definitely
dangerous
making
there
through the
because,
next 3 episodes.
because then he can
I
use
think
his
so.
idol and vote somebody out with his vote.
Well, and it's going to be an interesting thing to see now that everybody's kind of more weary about who has the idol. And now everybody's looking at Ty like, well, whoever knows in Ty's alliance, somebody has to know something more than what Ty is talking about. And that's going to start to build. I think somebody's going to start to notice,
well, all the beauties
we need
know.
to figure
all
out.
the beauties know that Ty has an idol, don't they?
I don't think so. Do they?
He was searching for the idol the entire first
I don't
6
think-
days.
did-
I think they all assumed that
I don't
he
think-
found an idol.
I don't think they ever gave away the fact that he got it, though. Did
I
they?
don't think they did, but I think if I was a beauty, I would think that he's got an idol. He looked for it for 5 or 6 days. I think he found one probably.
And they might not have talked about it. It's hard to say
They
what
keep talking.
people.
Jeff keeps asking.
Right. It's hard to say
keeps
what
asking
people
him
know
about the idols
because a lot of things happen behind the scenes. It's hard to really know exactly what they know and what they might assume. Because you come from a tribe and you see a guy looking for an idol, you assume he's got it, and if he's still in the game, he's still got it.
But at that point, the beauties were looking at Ty as like pretty much a really weak member.
Yeah.
And okay,
Yeah,
he's
they
gonna
were.
he's gonna get the idol. If we go to tribal, we're voting him out anyway.
Right.
And if he has the idol, he'll play it. And hey, kudos to you, but
It never happened.
yeah,
Right.
it never got to that point, and he just has always stayed under the radar. When they changed to the other 2 tribes, he was kind of under Scott's wing, and Scott loved him. And then he made the comment about him having the idol to Scott. Now Scott's
That was right.
now Scott knows. Hey, I got Jason over here that's got the idol. You got the idol. We all know about the super idol.
And so this
Nobody clued Ty in that. Hey, a lot of these people don't know about this super idol, so
Yeah,
let's
right.
keep this hush hush.
Yeah. Talk about the idol is something you're going to want to keep quiet, period.
Exactly.
I mean, but
You're absolutely.
it really does solidify the Jason Scott Ty alliance because,
It does solidify it, and
Wh-
you know how it does that. It solidifies it and
It keeps the
shows you
super
that
idol.
shows you that Ty is at the bottom of that alliance because he's
Oh,
not
yeah.
really being talked to or being in any conversation. I think he probably talks to that chicken more than he talks to anybody on that island. Honestly, I don't.
In this episode, I'm not sure that we know that. I'm really because we missed all of day 20. I mean, we didn't even see any of day 20.
If you remember
we went from day 19 to day 21.
Yeah, but if you remember in the last
there could've been-
episode, if you remember in the last episode, Debbie brought Ty aside with her alliance and said, "Hey, we need you. we're voting this person.
True.
You're in our alliance, right? And he's like, yeah, okay. And we got him. Remember that?
Yeah,
we got him.
yeah.
So I made the comment that, you know what? It doesn't matter. Ty's at the bottom of both alliances. If he goes that way, he's at the bottom.
Yeah.
If he goes with the Brawn and the Beauty Tribe, he's at the bottom. There's pretty girls in Sydney and Jason.
True.
He's at the bottom of every alliance. So, I mean,
he's still a strong competitor. He's a smart guy.
I think he's going to win the game. I think he's going to win the game.
He really has a good chance.
But his relationship. Scott's relationship. Scott and Jason's relationship. They're not including him.
Right.
He's not. Nick's more into the group than Ty is,
and we saw
know what
that.
I mean?
Right, we
Ty
saw that.
Kind of got shoved aside, and now Nick's in on the.
You know what? I don't think Ty wants him.
He doesn't want it.
I think he's figured out his strategy. I think a lot of this is calculated what he's doing.
And
he's just
to hang low.
I
he's
agree
just
with
trying
you,
to
Bob.
bide his time and just entertainment value, whatever, and he doesn't seem like a threat. Not everybody looks at him as a threat, so that's good too. And he's a dangerous guy just hanging on the outside.
And he is a dangerous guy too, especially with these immunity challenges. I think he can go far on a lot of these individual immunity challenges because he will be the one that's going to, go through and endure the pain that a lot of these individual immunity challenges offer. Whether it's, and I hope to see, because it's one of my favorite immunity challenges where they hop up in the ocean and they are basically underneath a jail cell in the water.
Yeah, right.
And as the tide comes up,
they
go to the top of the bars that's holding them under the water.
That's
and of course it's open in the front and back, so they can just get right out of whatever they're
swim away from it. Right?
Not a problem, but if you want to win that challenge, you got to be the last one there. And I think that's even something that I'd like to see Ty in that kind of a challenge. It'd be good.
Holding your breath underwater the longest.
And it's not necessarily holding your breath, because you can put your mouth above the bars. You can breathe over the bars.
Between the bars.
But once the tide goes over the bars, then you got to make like a tube with your hands to try to breathe through your hands like a straw, and you're doing it over bars, so you have your arms wrapped around the bars. So it gets real nerve-wracking real quick. It's one of my favorite challenges.
Yeah.
And it's even hard to watch. It's really good. But I couldn't imagine doing it. That's a great challenge, and
it's a test of attrition. You definitely have to concentrate, and you have to definitely breathe and stay focused.
Stay real focused and calm. Yeah,
being calm in that one is the key.
That's the key. Yeah, that is a good. Yeah,
and a lot of girls are very good at that because their faces are a little smaller and they can stick them up between the bars a little further than a lot of fat-faced guys like myself.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see where Ty goes in these individual immunity challenges. He may even put a target on his own back by being as strong-willed as he is throughout the rest of the game. We'll
I think
it'll be a great show.
I think
to
this
watch
episode was a big slap in his face. Like, hey, wait a second, maybe I'm on the wrong side of the alliance. Well,
he has his choice. I think now. He can break off. I think. But he's going to stick. I think with where.
I don't know.
Wherever the strong alliance goes, I don't think he has a problem riding that out. And if he can use his idol at the right time, when he knows that he's in trouble, he's got to really be intuitive as far as what goes on around the camp.
Hey, do you recall who wrote Jason's name down?
I don't.
Did you see who wrote Jason?
I didn't catch it at the end. No.
I saw who everybody. I think it might have been Ty that wrote Jason's name down.
Really?
He was the only one with immunity.
Ty wants to use that immunity thing not when he's in trouble, but when he can create trouble for somebody. And if he can do that, that's his ticket to the final three, if he can get to that point.
Well, if you're right about him writing Jason's name down, which I missed it, I didn't see, but if you're right about that,
who else would it have been?
He could be stirring up this little bit of trouble now. You know, so
who
when
else
we when we enter into this next episode, I really don't know. That's a good.
All the girls wrote Nick's name down, and
yeah.
Joe wrote Nick's name down.
Yeah, so it had to right. Scott's not writing Jason down. Jason's not writing Jason down. Could very well have been Ty. Probably was.
What?
Now that we think about who all did.
I think Ty may have wrote Jason's name. Nonetheless, we see what's going to happen next episode, and what happens is. Jason and Scott end up taking the machetes and the hatchets and all the cooking ware and basically everything that you need to survive on an island, and they take it away from the girls.
Yeah, and that's gonna prove to be a risky move too.
That's a bad move, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna vote him out now. And Scott, do you want to stay in the game? You better bring all this stuff back right now.
Yeah,
and start
no
cooking
kidding.
for us.
Yeah.
Go out and catch some
real.
fish. Bring the stuff back. Make a fire. You better start taking care of us right now because we're six women and we're 6 women strong. You want to stick around on the island? Show us your worth. Honestly.
Because who else do they really have now? I mean, Nick was a strong component because really solely if Nick was there,
Nick screwed up by telling Aubrey.
Michelle would have been
anything to Aubrey.
Well, it's important to mention that Michelle would have been strong in the Jason Scott alliance. Because she was going with Nick. I mean, she said it. She was with Nick.
Absolutely.
So now that Nick's gone, where's Michelle going to go?
She's with Julia.
So now
she's totally with Julia. I mean, because Julia's the one that kind of
we saw the Brawn.
She wants to work with Scott, but
we saw the Brawn on top of this whole thing, and Sydney, I think, is not part of the Brawn anymore. And
absolutely not. She's in trouble.
Right, with the way this worked out. I don't think she's in trouble, though.
I think she's in a lot of trouble.
I think Jason and Scott are in a lot of trouble.
They're definitely in trouble, but she's also in trouble, and I'll tell you why. Because Jason and Scott are together. Ty's got an immunity idol. She's the one that kind of orchestrated this whole big blow up in Tribe.
Yeah.
You know, Debbie and Joe are going to be together.
Well, it's going to be a great episode next
Debbie
week.
and Joe are together, and Aubrey.
Because this is what we needed.
And the two girls, Michelle and Julia, are together. So you all have all these pairs, and there's kind of Sydney without a couple. She doesn't have a date. Everybody's got a date to go to prom except Sydney. She's a little trouble, I think.
And she really
not a lot, but a little bit.
Yeah, she did it to herself. But if she can form this new alliance,
a girl alliance,
if she can form this new alliance, she's going to be real well off. But this is going to be a great next episode. It'll be episode 9. Join us here next week. We'll be here again next Wednesday.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be episode 9, and it's going to be a good episode because this is going to really show you what happens when a division breaks down every alliance and kind of something has to form. Something needs to reform now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely.
So, but that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for being here, Robert.
Thank you. Great to be here. Enjoy the Masters this weekend.
That's
everybody.
right. Yeah, we got the Masters.
The Masters starts tomorrow. We got 4 days of the best golf tournament.
That's right. That's right.
It
is.
Yeah,
Augusta, Georgia.
We'll have to chat about that sometime real soon.
Yeah, we should podcast about that. Maybe
we'll
get together on Saturday after after moving day, and we'll talk a little bit about who we think's going to make a move on Sunday.
For sure,
because that's going to be a big day.
I'm down. Let's do it. Well, join us soon here, folks. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bye.